scientist at the center of claims that the coronavirus leaked from her laboratory.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Naismith Drive.
Not true, and says she's open to any kind of visit. Now, there are more of those stories. News from around the world. It's the BBC News Hour. Coming up at 9 o'clock, 10 minutes on KQRT. Support for KBR comes from Mish Hospital and Clinics, specializing in weight loss surgery and offering revisions to previous bariatric procedures. More information at mishhospital.com. One of the great Christmas time traditions is the broadcast Festival of Nine Lessons and Carols from King's College in Cambridge, England. The Christmas Eve service is performed by a 30-vocal King's College choir.
In 800 feet, turn left onto West 15th Street.
Lessons and Carols is coming up Thursday, beginning at 9 a.m. Encore broadcast at 7 o'clock in the evening, Christmas Eve, here on Kansas Public Radio. Hope you'll join us. It's 8:51.
This is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm David Green.
And I'm Noel King. Good morning. The movie Love Story turns 50 years old this month.
I major in social studies.
It doesn't show.
It's an honors program.
Listen, Preppy, I know you guys...
Turn left onto West 15th Street.
Yeah, you're hung up on me, aren't you?
He is, and she's hung up on him, too. Audiences stood in long lines to see Love Story in December of 1970. The entertainment industry was stunned that this movie and the book it was based on became such hits. Now, since then, Love Story has been the subject...
In 600 feet, turn left onto Naismith Drive.
Much of it asking, is this movie actually good? Here's NPR's Elizabeth Blair.
Between Vietnam and civil rights, America was polarized in 1970.
And along comes this love story telling us we can believe in the power of love.
Take the next right onto West 15th Street, then turn left onto Naismith Drive.
And screenplay. He died in 2010.
It's unabashedly sentimental, but entirely genuine and earnest. And I think it's...
Turn left onto Naismith Drive.
Two college kids fall in love. Oliver Barrett IV, played by Ryan O'Neal.
In 800 feet, turn right onto Crescent Road.
Jenny Cavallari, played by Ali McGraw, is a sassy, working-class Acres daughter who goes to Radcliffe. He plays hockey, she works in the library.
Look, we're allowed to use the Radcliffe Library.
I am not talking legality, Preppy. I'm talking ethics.
Take the next right onto Crescent Road.
Books, and Radcliffe's got a few lousy stars.
They spar, play in the snow, argue.
You're a preppy millionaire, and I'm a social zero.
What does that have to do with going our separate ways? We're together now, aren't we? We're happy.
They are
In 300 feet, at the traffic circle, take the first exit onto Jayhawk Boulevard.
Hey, Mrs. Barrett, guess what?
You got fired.
I got fired up. And guess where to?
Reno, Nevada.
Paris, France. We'll be there.
In 800 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Jenny learns she has a fatal blood disease.
I don't want Paris. I don't need Paris. I just want you.
Well, that you got, baby.
And I want time. Which you can't give me.
The love story was an ugly ride. Susan Elizabeth Phillips is a best-selling romance fiction writer. She was in her early 20s when Love Story came out. She says just about...
Your destination is on the left.
After first reading the book.
I remember when I read it, of course, dissolving in tears. I read it to my boyfriend at the time, read it out loud to him, sobbing through the whole thing. We've now been married for 50 years. He says he doesn't remember this, so that's a blessing.
The film was #1 at the box office by a lot. Movie attendance was down in 1970. The Los Angeles Times wrote that the Love Story phenomenon was a boon to the embattled Paramount Pictures, and evidence people still want to go to the movies in vast numbers. It was nominated for 7 Oscars. Francis Lay won for original score. It also won 5 Golden Globes, including for acting for both Ryan O'Neal and Ali McGraw.
Everybody was completely flabbergasted when it had the reception that it had, which was right away.
McGraw says people still ask her about it.
Always somebody comes up and says, "Oh, you were in that movie. Why aren't you guys making excuse.
As for that very famous line,
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
McGraw says even she didn't know what it meant and regrets not asking.
It's an insane line. But I said it, and I live with it.
McGraw also lives with the parodies Love Story inspired. Her personal favorite is by Carol Burnett and Harvey Korman.
I know you love me.
I never said anything about loving you.
Don't you understand? Love means not ever having to say, I love you.
In an episode of The Simpsons, Homer and Marge are big fans of the movie.
Where do I begin to tell the story of how great love can be?
The sweet love story that is older than the sea.
The Simpson kids don't get it. Bart makes fun of another famous line.
What can you say about a 25-year-old girl who died?
I say bury her before she starts to smell. What? Man asked a question.
A good number of the writers on The Simpsons went to Harvard, where the movie takes place. Harvard and Love Story go way back. It's where writer Eric Siegel went to school. It's where he met Al Gore, Tommy Lee Jones, and Watergate investigator Terry Lenzner, all of whom inspired the character of Oliver. And Harvard has returned the favor by lampooning the movie every year. Davis Bailey is a junior and president of Harvard's Crimson Key Society. He says the organization puts on a Rocky Horror-style screening of Love Story for freshmen.
Basically, every 10 seconds or so, we have a line that collectively or individually, some of us will shout out at the screen, or we do something that we act out. Because the movie itself is definitely very sappy.
Very sappy is similar to how some critics felt about Love Story back in 1970. They found it cliché and contrived. Others, like Roger Ebert, called it a 3, 4, or 5 handkerchief movie.
Doesn't hurt, Ollie, really it doesn't. It's like falling off a cliff in slow motion, you know. Only after a while you wish you'd hit the ground already, you know. But you never fell off a cliff in your whole life.
Yes, I did. When I met you.
I was in room after room of huge gatherings, all deeply moved.
Then, as now, people needed a good cry. But Ally McGraw wonders if today's audiences would have the patience for a simple story about love and loss.
We're functioning as opposed to feeling. And I think there's a big difference.
A critic in the French newspaper Le Monde wrote that Love Story was a novel that no one dared to write, but everyone was waiting to read. Elizabeth Blair, NPR News.
Thank you for listening to us on your local member station. You can keep the conversation going with us on social media. I'm Noelle King. You can reach me on Twitter at Noelle King. Rachel Martin is at Rachel NPR. David Green is at NPR Green. And Steve Inskeep is at NPR Inskeep. It's Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Noelle King.
And I'm David Green.
We're live, we're local, we are Kansas Public Radio from the University of Kansas, KANU, KANU HD1 Lawrence 91.5, KANH HD1 Emporia 89.7, KANB HD1 Oldsburg Junction City 91.3, KANQ Chanute at 90.3. Listen online anytime at kansaspublicradio.org or your smart speakers like Kansas Public Radio. Oh, we'll hear the score from another film coming up on the morning classical music program. The Snowman is a film about a boy who builds a magical snowman, the snowman that comes to life. We'll hear Howard Blake's score for The Snowman. That's coming up this morning. Also, we'll hear the KU Chamber Choir performance of Chilcot's Jubilate. Lead center will play that for you this morning. Daryl Brogdon is up with the music from 9 to noon. In the noon hour, Jeff Watson brings us the Boston Camerata, American Christmas carols from colonial times. Lots of great music coming your way, starting just after news from NPR. That's coming up next. And until 3 this afternoon, this goes out.
Support for KPR comes from the Kansas City Renaissance Festival, presenting Nights of Lights, a family-friendly drive-through ride at the festival grounds of Canterbury, decorated for the holiday season. Select evenings November 27th through December 27th. Details at kcrenfest.com.
Sunny today, windy, winds between 30 miles per hour, with gusts up to 35 to 40. It'll be sunny though, and we'll eventually see highs in the mid-60s. Mostly cloudy tonight. Fair skies at 36 degrees now. It's 9.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Windsor Johnston. President Trump is expected to sign a massive $2.3 trillion spending bill that includes $900 billion in additional coronavirus relief funding. NPR's Susan Davis.